So if anybody's wondering how Annie learned to get it done, this is the reason why. This is Dorothy, my dear friend and mentor, my very first boss in real estate, and I'm so glad to have you here. When I was 21, you were like really, truly like a goddess to me. Like, but there's people in your life that you don't get a chance to say that they made such a big difference. You really did. You really did. I had gone through 20 different places that I would keep calling and saying, hi, I don't have my real estate license, but I want to be a broker. And they would hang up at me and say, you can't be a broker, you have to be an agent first. And so I'd be like, okay, I have to be an agent. And so the next person would then tell me I had to go to class. And each phone call, I had more and more information. And your office was like the last one on the list. I think you said, like, this crazy person just called saying she could sell jeans at the Gap and she was sure that she could sell New York City real estate. Begrudgingly, you gave me a job. I remember it as sitting next to the copy machine.
Right. You were all the way in the back.
All the way in the back. But I would watch everything you did.
I've always been on my own as a businesswoman, and I always came up with different ways to earn a living. Honestly, I didn't have a relationship with my father, and I didn't have a relationship with my brother. So at one point I said, you know what? I have to do this on my own. I have to figure it out. I applied to work at Air France because I spoke a little French.
How old were you?
Right after college. I think it was 21 or 22. They didn't have a position at the time, but they were interested. They said, we'll call you if we have a position.
How could they
open.
not be?
Who knows? And my neighbor came over and he said, this is not a glamorous job, but somebody's looking for an assistant. I started working for a man named Sal Caiola.
Oh, good.
From Bettina Equities.
Oh, Bettina.
Yeah,
Still around.
remember that?
Yes.
He needed somebody to help him with his books and answer the phone. And that's all I did, really. And then it started to grow. And I grew with it, and I loved it.
I entered this tiny little office in the basement, and I am watching you wheeling and dealing. But I also remember Jeff, the commercial real estate broker, coming in because you were tough. I mean, this was not a business that women were running. Women were agents, but they didn't have their own companies. They weren't really kind of calling the shots, but you were tough. I remember Jeff coming in there and yelling, and you just yelled right back. You were like, you just would not back down. So you kind of played with the big boys. You stepped up and really were making it happen.
I had no support from men, so I had to learn how to do it myself.
Yes, but there's a lot of people that don't learn how to do it for themselves.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
I mean, you have to pat yourself on the back. You were very also open to different things. I remember you doing seminars and workshops with Women, Sex, and Power.
Oh,
you
that was
did
great.
EST.
Oh my God,
right?
that was life-changing. Very inspirational.
Like if you had to think of one or two things that came from that, what would that be?
Be positive and look at what you can do. Don't pay attention to what's wrong. Pay attention to the opportunity and possibility.
And was that EST? Or was that Women's Sex and Power?
That was EST. And Women's Sex and Power was really about relationships. I learned a tremendous amount. Then I learned how to eliminate a lot of the men. So
Women, no sex and power. So we moved from this crappy little office, and it was a beautiful townhouse office. But I remember there being a couch. And around that time, and I remember there were dates and there was men, and then you ended up falling in love and getting married and getting pregnant.
Yes.
And I remember then you losing your first pregnancy. And, the devastation that you felt. And again, like this little agent watching this powerhouse, my idol. I remember you then being pregnant again and you really taking it easy.
Yes.
And laying on the couch. And you had black leggings. Remember the black leggings and the sweaters? And you would wear, do you remember the bows on the top of your head?
God.
You would wear like scarves. And you would have a bow on the top. And I actually recently found a picture. I just wanted to emulate you. It's important for you to know that because you don't realize the impact that you make on people in your life, right? And I watched everything that you did.
So honored, really.
Well, but it's the truth. It's the truth because you were a badass, strong woman. And my mother was strong in a certain way. My mother was very spiritual, but my mother didn't have that I can do anything kind of attitude that you had. And so it was so important for me to see that.
It was just what I did. I mean, I really didn't think about it at all. It's just the way I functioned. Skipping a few years, when I bought the piece of land to build a house in Southampton, everybody said, well, you're going to build a house? And I said, well, if a man can do it, why can't I? Like, why are you asking me this? I didn't understand why people thought it was so amazing to build a house just because I'm a woman.
Right. You didn't have the brother, you didn't have the dad in terms of the relationship. Something inside of you. And sometimes people will say to me, somebody taught me this, or I watched so-and-so and they inspired me. But then other times there's a woman, Judy Katz, she's like, I was just born that way. I came out of the womb and I was just like, listen, I can do this, and I never looked back.
Right.
So maybe it's a combination of both.
I don't know what it was, but I just remember that I always felt like, do whatever I want to do. Not like, oh, I can do this. No, it's just, what's next? What can I do now?
And you always were what's next. So you're taking it easy.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the couch. And I just remember your belly growing, and
it was big.
And you gave birth to Erin, your daughter, and then shortly thereafter you guys separated.
When she was about 3. Yeah.
Right. Which was around the time when I separated, and again I think seeing that you were able to do it, because again you were ahead of me, and if you're not in a happy marriage and things are not the way that they should be in a real partnership, that it is far better for everybody involved to leave. Did it feel overwhelmingly scary, or were you like, I'm out, I'm done?
I was pretty much out. I was not happy. I made a mistake in terms of the match. It was not a good match. Didn't really think about what goes into a marriage, because I never really saw a good marriage in front of me.
Right, so what do you think goes into a marriage now?
I think you have to be really good friends, and you have to like each other a lot. And miraculously, my daughter learned this on her own, and she does have that kind of marriage.
Right.
But I didn't really understand it, even at my age, because I got married later. And I knew there was an attraction with us, and that's what I went with. Early on, I knew it's wrong. This doesn't work this way. We have to be friends first. We arrived at the decision of splitting up together at the same time.
Right.
It wasn't he left me or I left him.
Right.
It was hard for him, harder, because we have a child.
Right.
And he really loved her. He's a good dad. It was tough, but I was done at that point. I said, okay, let me move on. So I was doing everything on my own, like you did.
Right.
It's hard. It's painful.
There's a lot of weight.
And I felt really bad for Erin. I did. It broke my heart. I had to leave her with my mother on weekends, and I felt terrible because she was with her dad every other weekend. So when she was with me, she wasn't with me.
Right.
So sometimes my mother would bring her to the office, and we would hang out. It was very hard for her. It was very hard for me. But I had a great job.
Right. But the work ethic that you had, because again, I saw that. I saw that you did whatever it took. You were going to be working whenever you needed to work.
Yeah.
As a single mom, you absolutely feel the guilt of not being there. But the great thing about real estate is also that there wasn't a time when I missed a doctor's appointment. There wasn't a show that I missed in terms of the kids' school. There were many times that I wasn't there, and they did see me work a lot. But there were things that I made sure that I did. I mean, I was home every night to make dinner, and then I would go out and I would pitch something. When we look at our children, certainly with Erin, if it was tough on her, it was also inspiring. It must have been. What a role model. And look at now the person that she's become. She's not an animal that's just working and doesn't have a family life. It seems that she's been able to do it all. And look at the life that you created. You're financially free. You can do what you want to do. You can be in Florida. So anyway, so you raised a very strong daughter who, for those of you that watch Real Housewives, so Erin was one of the housewives of New York. Prior to that, I mean, just what I know about her, because she worked, I think, still at Douglas Elliman, right? I mean,
yes, she was under Eklund Goldstein.
Right. But she was renovating, like her mother, renovating properties and turning them around and doing design work, being a real estate broker, working with one of the top teams in the city, but also then banging out babies. I mean, she's a mother of 4. You've got
1, 2, 3,
There's 3
4.
boys, 3
boys, 2 boys, a girl, and another boy.
What is it like being a grandparent?
Oh my God, I adore them. And this little baby, God bless him, he is just delicious.
So she just came out with a cookbook, right?
She came out with a great cookbook, compilation of all the cuisines that she grew up with, that her husband grew up with.
Because your ex-husband is Israeli.
And his parents are from Yemen. So they have Yemenite food, Israeli food. My family's from Iraq, so they have Iraqi food. Abe's mother is Cuban, so there's Cuban food.
I didn't know that. This cookbook must be like this.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I have to send you one. And she also has the liquor business.
So she's got the mezcal business.
Yes, she does.
What's the name of it?
Mescaloon.
Mescaloon.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So she absolutely is her mother's daughter.
I'm way surpassing me, but
I know, but don't sell yourself short. You recently had some health issues. Do you want to talk about what happened, or?
Yeah, I had breast cancer. I handled it pretty well, but I started to pull back from my business. I decided this time is for me.
Right.
You know, I'll work a little here and there at my own, choice, but I love Florida. I spend most of my time there doing things that I hadn't had time to do. I joined the synagogue in Palm Beach. I love it. I'm more active. Things like that I didn't do. I didn't have time to do any of that.
Right.
All I had time to do was work.
As a very strong, successful woman who doesn't need a man, but I know you've wanted a man.
I would love to meet someone.
Right.
Yeah, still.
And that's the same thing with me.
Yeah. I know we're very similar that
But
way.
how many times have people said to you, but you're so strong, you don't need a man, and that intimidates men? I mean, it's because that's what I hear, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I would think, wouldn't it feel better to be wanted versus needed as a man?
You would think.
But
men are still not there yet. There's a lot going on with men these days, especially young men.
Well, the young men,
Oh my God. I mean, your daughters probably tell you.
that they don't come up to talk to them in bars, they don't,
And
they're
they
feeling
don't want
like,
to get married. They don't want to bother. It's too much bother for them. What I find is men that are at our level, let's say, I hate to use that word,
Right.
but where we are,
that they can pay for themselves.
that they can pay for
A
themselves.
pulse, a penis, and a paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not asking a lot, right?
That's it. But it just no. But a lot of them want to be with younger women, or they don't have any money, and you have to pay for them. And I will not
No.
be with a man like that.
No.
I just can't. It's not that you want to go after somebody with money. It's that you want them to be able to hold their own, so
Yes.
they can take care of you in a certain way.
In a certain way.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that I'm like driving the bus all day long.
All right.
And I want to just be able to like take the foot off the gas and relax and know that somebody's got my back.
Yeah.
And also that you could pay for yourself and treat me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to have you pay for everything. I don't want at all, actually, the master of the universe. I don't want somebody that is maniacal in terms of their
Right.
job or the big ego. I just want a good human being.
You want a partner.
Right.
It's about a partnership.
Right,
And
right.
that's what women like us want and need.
But you're so vibrant and always going, what's next? Next? There's a lot of men that are not. They're just kind of stopped. They just are not really out there learning and doing and really just continuing to make things happen.
And in the meantime, we just live life.
Exactly.
That's all you can
Well,
do.
it's not just living life. We're rocking life,
Yeah,
baby.
we are.
and thank you for helping me learn.
Oh my
Because
God,
really,
you are
I
terrific.
can't-
You're
I
an
can't-
inspiration.
I can't
You
tell
really are.
you how very important you are to me.
Aw.
Really, really, really.
Can I have a hug?
Yeah.
Oh my God.